Hi everyone, it's Fideliz Cruz here, Christian life and business coach and the founder of the Kingdom Woman Entrepreneurs Academy. I wanted to share with you our theme for the month, which is walking with Jesus, with the scripture focus of Psalms chapter 37, 23 to 24. And we're talking about walking with Jesus in our community. And I wanted to read this out to you and encourage you to walk with Jesus in your life and in your business. So let me read it out to you. This is the NIV version. The Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in him. Though he may stumble, he will not fall, for the Lord upholds him with his hand. And I also love this version in the Amplified Classic version. So let me read this out to you. The steps of a good man are directed and established by the Lord when he delights in his way and he busies himself with his every step. Though he falls, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord grasped his hand in support and upholds him. I love this verse, and I'm so glad that we're digging in together to learn more about this and really unpack it. So let me just share a couple of things with you about this scripture. And I really encourage you to think about how you're walking with Jesus in this season. So first things first, God directs our steps. So it says that he directs our steps. So what does that mean? So when you're looking for directions, you're basically looking for the way, right? You're looking for a path, and God does that for us. It actually shows us a way of doing things. He shows us how to get to that place where he's called us to be. So he directs our path. And I believe that he does this through our intimate personal relationship with him. He actually demonstrates it. And so he's our example of what we need to do. So if we're ever unsure of which direction to go or what to do, we can always go back to him and ask him, God, what should I do? And ask him for directions. And he will then display that, and he will then demonstrate that through our intimate relationship with him. So he could do that through experiences, things that what we might go through in our everyday life, or it could be through his word. So those are the ways that he can direct us. So he could even speak to us directly. He will put in a scripture in your heart or a word in your spirit that will just remind you and prompt you of which way to go. So if you're ever unsure and you're needing direction, we can always go back to him and ask him for the way, and he's going to show you the way and what you need to do, steps you need to take to get to that place he's called you to do. So Jesus is our example, and we can look to him. He demonstrates it through his word, and also he displays that through your intimate personal relationship with him. And so that's number one, is he directs our path. Secondly, he not only directs, but he also establishes our steps. So what does establish mean? Establish is actually it actually means to set up on a firm or permanent basis. So it makes your plans permanent. He declares it permanent. So it's not temporal, where you make a plan and things change and then you'll change route and you'll go to a different direction. He actually makes your plans permanent. He establishes that. So there's nothing that it means that no one in this world can stop God's plan for your life. Isn't that amazing? Not even yourself. And sometimes we think, oh, I think I might stuff it up. I might stuff up God's plan for my life. I might make the wrong decision. I might do something that will, delay or I guess point me in the wrong direction here, and I'm going to stuff it up. Maybe you're thinking, I'm going to stuff it up. But you know what? God is greater than that. You can never stuff up God's plan, because he's always in control. So he has made the plans for your life established. He's made that permanent. So there's nothing that this world can do to stop that plan for your life, or you can't, and you yourself can't stop God's plan for your life, because he's going to be all over it and he's in charge of that. So he oversees and he can actually establish that plan. So there's nothing you can do to stuff it up, right? So another thing we need to remember is that he is going to direct us and establish our plan as we delight in him. So it says there in that scripture that the steps of a good man are directed and established by the Lord when he delights in his ways. So when we delight in God, that's when he continues to direct us and continues to establish his plan for our life, right? So we've got to do is delight in him, delight in his way. So I feel like this verse is actually, it's very instructive. It instructs us and reminds us to continue to delight in God. So delight actually means to please God, to please someone greatly. So that's what it means, to please him. So as long as we continue to please God, he's going to direct and establish our ways. And I believe that that's something that's, that would come natural. I know it's instructive and I know it's a reminder to delight in him, but if you love someone, wouldn't you delight in them? Wouldn't you naturally want to do something to please them? So that's a natural thing. If you love God, you're going to delight in his way naturally. So as you continue to do that, he's going to, direct your path. He's going to direct you. He's going to establish your plans. So this comes naturally as you walk with Jesus. So it's instructive and again, a reminder, but usually it comes naturally for those who love God, right? So continue to delight in him. And even if we read back and go on to, so this is Psalms 37, if we go up to verse 4 and read a few verses back, he actually reminds us of this. And this is what it says in Psalms 37:4. It says, take delight in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. So taking delight in the Lord first and foremost. So what we want to do is please him. And what does the Bible say about pleasing him? Without faith, it is impossible to please God. So what it is really is having faith in him and delighting in him and knowing that he is in control of the plans that he has for you, that he has established that, and that he will direct your path. So there's nothing to worry about. And sometimes, yes, we might feel like, oh, we're off track, but he's going to bring you back to that place of alignment with him as long and as you continue to delight in him and to put him first in your life. So we're going to be learning more about this in our masterclasses scheduled for this month. This is our theme for the whole month, so we'll be digging in deep, and I'll pray that you've been reading this scripture in your own time and asking the Lord for your personal revelation as God reveals this to you. But here are a few questions that I pray will encourage you in your walk with him as you grow your business. I've got some journal prompts here for you. So as we have just read this scripture and I kind of unpack that a little bit. There's so much in the scripture, but as I have unpacked that today, I've got some questions for you that I pray will be helpful as you journal and seek the Lord for this scripture, in this particular scripture, right? So first question is, which specific areas of your life and business in this season are you needing God's direction in? So think about this year. We've only got a few months left and it's basically countdown to Christmas and to the end of the year, closing 2020. What specific areas of your life and business in this season are you needing God's direction in? If you're looking into, your business and how you're running that, and of course he oversees your life and he gives you direction for your life, but particularly in your business and how you're running this, what specific areas do you need his leading and his direction in? I'd love for you to write that down. List them down. Secondly, how are you seeking his direction? So now that you've written down things that you are asking the Lord for direction in, how are you going to seek him for that? Is it going to be through his word? Is it going through praise and worship? Is it going to be through a small group and maybe discussing that? So what would that look like for you? How are you seeking his direction this season? And lastly, keeping in mind that God establishes your plans and make it permanent, how would this change the way you do life and business? It's amazing just thinking about how God establishes your plan and makes that permanent. There's nothing that the world can do to stop God's plan for your life, and there's nothing that you can do to stop God's plan for your life. So knowing that knowing that and keeping that in mind, how does this change the way you do life and business? I'd love to hear your thoughts. So those are the 3 questions I have for you today as we unpack this scripture this month. Please comment down below, and I'd love to hear from you. What resonated with you? Perhaps you could share your answers out of the 3, or if not, just share with us, what resonated with you and how this has inspired you to take that step with Jesus and walk with him in this journey. So I hope this was a blessing to you. Comment below and share what resonated. Until next time, be blessed. Bye.